So let's dive into this fascinating exploration of why someone, a Belgian by the name of Geoffroy, chose China over Europe for his life.
Right? It's pretty interesting how he navigated through, all those misconceptions and realities, yes.
Exactly. I mean, he spent 17 years in China, got a Chinese wife, and works in manufacturing. It's like a whole new life story that really flips typical European stereotypes on its head.
Yeah, and it's cool how he talks about the differences between what Westerners expect and what life actually is in China, right?
Absolutely. He breaks it down into
Hmm.
clear chapters, starting with discussing the stereotypes Europeans have about China, which many people might not even question until they see it firsthand.
Right, those stereotypes, they're like these preconceived notions that don't really capture the everyday vibe of a place like Guangzhou, for instance.
Yep, and speaking of Guangzhou, he even touches upon where a guest should ideally be sitting when visiting. It's a quirky but telling insight into social etiquette there.
Wow, that's an interesting detail. I mean, who would have thought that seating arrangement could signify so much about the local culture?
Exactly. Then he transitions into his first impressions when he arrived in China. It's like everything felt different, more vibrant, bustling, and culturally rich.
Hmm. And I think that ties directly into another point he makes about experiencing simple pleasures like coffee in China. It's not just about the drink, but the whole ritual surrounding it, right?
Totally. It's like he illustrates how, even in everyday practices like having coffee, you can see how the local traditions and modern life sort of blend together.
And that's a key element. It shows how deep rooted culture influences even the smallest daily rituals.
Exactly. And that segues into the core question: why did he choose China over Europe? Well, it's reflective of how he values the blend of tradition and forward thinking modernity here.
True, but isn't it interesting? On one hand, there's a portrayal of extraordinary safety and order, yet what about the freedom aspect? Don't you think there might be a bit of tension between those two?
Oh, for sure. He does dive into that by discussing safety in China. On one hand, the city feels very secure, like a tightly woven network of rules and systems.
Yeah,
But then you ask, does that come at the cost of personal freedom?
exactly. It's like there's this debate around whether the reliability of structure automatically limits creative freedom. I wonder, does he feel that way?
From what I gathered, he does acknowledge that there are certain restraints, notably in policies affecting foreigners, but overall he feels
Right?
comfortable.
Hmm.
He highlights that he feels free in his own life, even if, there are cultural and bureaucratic boundaries.
That's a nuanced perspective. So he appreciates the safety, but also respects that there are certain limitations foreign residents have to navigate.
Exactly. And then he moves on to talk about other practical aspects, like Chinese cars and the overall driving culture. It's like an unexpected twist in the conversation, because most Europeans might have a fixed mindset about Chinese automotive quality.
Absolutely. And the whole driving culture in China is a whole other world. I mean, it's chaotic to us sometimes, but it's also a testament to the adaptability of local residents.
For sure, he even
Hmm.
mentions how the unique flow of traffic and the driving habits in China are a kind of microcosm for the country's broader cultural adaptability.
Right. And that sort of everyday chaos, when handled with such grace, really seems to impress him. It's almost like an art form in itself.
Haha, exactly. Then he gets into the more personal side of things, the challenges of raising kids in China, education prices, cultural integration, even rules that affect dual citizenship come up.
That definitely adds a weighty dimension, doesn't it? I mean, it's not just about living well as an individual, but also creating a sustainable life for a family.
Right. And he stresses that while the opportunities in China are abundant, the price of raising kids here, especially with schooling and the costs that come with it, is another factor.
Yeah,
It's a significant contrast to what many might expect from a so called Eastern paradise.
and that definitely triggers a rethink among people who idealize life in China without considering the practical implications, right?
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of what foreigners can or can't do, like the complexities around dual citizenship, which adds layers to the conversation about identity and belonging.
True, dual citizenship is a real headache in many countries, and in China, it's practically a no go for immigrants. It forces you to really commit, you know?
Right, it's like saying, you're in it for the long haul. And yet, despite these hurdles, he seems pretty committed to integrating and embracing Chinese life.
I wonder if some might argue that this level of commitment is a bit um, idealistic. I mean, when the freedoms are limited, is it really complete integration?
That's a good point, and I think he subtly addresses that by acknowledging that no system is perfect. It's a trade-off, safety and structure on one hand, with some limitations on a different kind of freedom on the other.
Exactly. It's like choosing between two different styles of living, the meticulous order and the freewheeling mess of creative chaos.
Yeah, and he also talks about how Chinese people generally handle rules. It's impressive how they balance strict societal guidelines with a kind of quiet
Right?
resilience. It shows a lot about the cultural mindset here.
Indeed, and that extends to their patriotism. He mentions how Chinese people are quite proud of their country, which is often misunderstood by Europeans, who tend to see it either as overly rigid or overly nationalistic.
Exactly. It's like the biggest strength of China, according to him, isn't just the infrastructure or the technology, but the collective spirit and unity of its people.
And that unity manifests in all sorts of places, like in the bustling shopping malls too. The consumer culture there is a blend of modernity and tradition, and it really kind of ties the whole picture together.
Right, and he even touches on the perspective of how China aligns itself with global trends, including its subtle followings of US developments. It's like a delicate dance.
That dance of adopting and adapting, and the way Chinese people view wealth and success. It's not so black and white as we might think, is it?
Exactly. Their approach to rich people, and then their interaction with foreigners, all of that builds a multi layered narrative about modern China. It
Yeah.
portrays the country as a dynamic mix of opportunities and traditions.
Wraps it all up nicely, doesn't it? So, at the end of the day, he chose China because it offers a real life experiment where safety, economic growth, and culture create a unique living experience, despite some inherent challenges.